Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful, to all my graceful audience, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Rahmat Empowerment Wala, striving to achieve self sustainability for me and for the people alike. I'm your host of this interview series named Empowering Minds. इस इंटरव्यू सीरीज़ में हमारी कोशिश होती है कि ऐसी मोअज़्ज़ज़ शख्सियात को मदऊ किया जाए, जो ना सिर्फ अपनी माइंड पावर एक्सप्लोर कर चुके हों, बल्कि दूसरों के माइंड को भी एम्पावर करने की कोशिश कर रहे हों या फिर ऐसा जज़्बा रखते हों, so that we get to learn from their experiences and get motivated by their passion towards the betterment of the society. इसी सिलसिले में आज के हमारे मेहमान हैं जहांज़ेब पीआरवाला साहब। इनका ताल्लुक़ कराची से है। ये एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर हैं रेहान फाउंडेशन के। इनके बारे में जानेंगे, इनकी लाइफ जर्नी के बारे में जानेंगे, इनसे बहुत सारी नॉलेजेबल गुफ्तगू करेंगे। तो गुफ्तगू का आगाज़ करते हैं। अस्सलाम वालेकुम जहांज़ेब पीआरवाला साहब।
Walaikum assalam. Thank you very much for
कैसे
calling
मिजाज हैं
me.
आपके सर?
Shukr Alhamdulillah, perfectly fine.
सर थोड़ा-सा माइक आप करीब करेंगे तो फिर वो आवाज़ बेहतर आएगी
Yes,
सर।
perfectly fine. Shukr Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much.
एक्सीलेंट सर। सर बहुत शुक्रिया आपका, आपने अपना कीमती वक़्त हमें दिया रात के इस पहर में।
No, it is not an issue. Although it's like tomorrow is Saturday, and it will be not a difficulty for me to, remain awake tonight because tomorrow I will not be going to the office at a very early time, and because normally I have to rise after prayers, I go to sleep, but tomorrow I don't have to, you know, go to sleep tomorrow. So it is like that.
So weekends are a good time to have a chat with you sir।
Yes, exactly. Weekends are mine. I am all available.
Excellent sir। Sir, for the audience information, tell us who is Jehanzeb PRwala.
Well, Jehanzeb PRwala initially was Jehanzeb Hashmi, and after Jehanzeb Hashmi became Lieutenant Jehanzeb Hashmi, and recently he became Captain Jehanzeb Hashmi PRwala. And this story is, 52 years long, and it started on 19th March 1971 in Imam Clinic, Karachi. Uh, and this person, Jahanzeb Hashmi, landed onto this earth at Fajr time, Friday, 19th March 1971, in an Imam Clinic. After 2 months in Karachi, he was taken from Karachi to Lahore, where he got himself admitted in one of the posh schools, even now, Beacon House, in class 1, and stayed there for 6 or 7 years because in class 1 he got first position, in class 2nd he got second position, in class 3rd he got third position, and in class 4th he failed and he had to repeat class 4th. And after repeating class 4th, he went to class 5th, and then he joined the class 6th. There he failed again, and the parents decided to shift him from this school, Beacon House Public School, those times, now it's school system, to another school, very famous school, Custom Public School, Lahore. I joined Custom Public School, Lahore in class 7 and stayed there till class 9th. And when I was in class 9th and it was almost over, um, my father got a job in Lahore, in Multan, as a general manager marketing in Joffman, one of the very posh, very big organizations in pharmaceutical company. So we went to Multan. From there, I did my metric from a local private school, Patrons Foundation. And after doing my metric, I went to Karachi alone, and I did my FSC from PCHS Education Government Science College. And after doing FSC, I've had never been studious. In metric, I was barely 50%, and FSC also barely 50%. And I came back to Multan, where my family was there. I joined third year BSc there. One of my friend came to me in June when there were holidays, vacations, and he said, "Why not to join army?" So I said, "Why not?" And we applied for the preliminary test, and we got selected. And the ISSP Inter Services Selection Board called me to Karachi for a 5 days, you know, comprehensive examination of how I will be, capable to join in the Pakistan Armed Forces. And I got selected. And in April 1991, I joined Pakistan Military Academy, Kakul. There I stayed for 2 years and got commissioned in one of the oldest regiments of Pakistan Army, Armored Corps 11 Cavalry, full of colors, full of honor. Many generals are there from 11 Cavalry. Current generals are from 11 Cavalry, and stayed there for 4 years. During that period, I went to Nashera for 6 months and 3 months to Quetta for separate courses. And in '96, the army got me in the hospital and tested me for 1 year in the hospital, and then decided that my judgment has impaired. I see things differently. My yardstick of measuring life and society has changed, and it cannot support the army way of life. So they told me that I have no more, uh, you know, uh, I can no more prolong my services in the army, so I had to leave the army. So I joined the University of Circumstances, went to Lahore, and there I stayed for about a year. Then went back to Karachi, and there I got married to my only wife, and in '99, and then in 2000 I was blessed with a son, and I upgraded my qualification by doing MBA HR from a local university, Preston University. And then I got a chance to work as a deputy manager, administration and security in a private organization, Port Container Terminal, Pakistan International Container Terminal for 5 years. And after 5 years, I got the chance to serve in one of the largest computer company in the world, IBM, as a admin head. There I stayed for 3 years, and I went back to Marine Group and joined Pakistan Premier Tracking Solutions, a tracking company for 4 years as assistant manager, administration, security, and HR. Then I was shifted to the same group to a different company, a software company, Interactive Sales, where I stayed for 2 years, and that company role winded up its business, and then I had to leave Marine Group, and then I joined several other companies. And since past 1 year, yesterday, 7th September, was my complete year with Rehan Foundation, with Rehan Allahwala, and uh, one day today is my the 1 year and 1 day with Rehan Foundation. And this is the whole story.
Excellent, sir. I really admire how you portrayed from your first day till your this day, sir. Excellent, sir. I haven't heard before any introduction like this, where the participant introduces himself from the very first day of his.
Life on earth till tonight. Yes.
Excellent, sir. Excellent. Amazing, sir. Oh, sir, when you're talking, a question appeared in my mind that the life of army and military is quite different to what we live like civilians. They live like very disciplined life. They follow. a certain time and punctuality. So how did you cope that challenge to that transition where you once you lived like a military man and then you lived like a civilian? So how did that transition, the challenge, how did you cope that challenge?
Well, it was not, the transition was not once, it was twice.
Okay.
Before joining the army, I was a very ill disciplined person, and I had to be disciplined in the army. And after the army, when I was a disciplined person, I had to be ill disciplined again. So it was twice that this transition occurred. So in the Pakistan Military Academy life of a cadet cannot, nowhere in the world you can have such a beautiful life what you know live the way you live in Pakistan Military Academy. The uh, how you eat, how you walk, how you run, how you sleep, how you talk, what you talk, how you dress up, how you address people, how whatever you do, they teach you how to do it, remaining in the Islamic perspective. And they teach you in a hard way so that you never forget. For example, uh, in 97, I had to leave the army, right? Last year, after the army, I was never bulky or very fat uh, in a physical aspect of my body. But after the army, I did not pursue exercises and all that practices which I used to do when I was in the army. Last year, after 25 years of leaving the army, I went to Islamabad, and one of my niece's husband came to me and he said, "Why not to climb Peer Suava?" And it was almost 25, 26 years that I have done any exercise, and now you can see gray hair in my beard, and if I remove my headgear, china cap, you will also see that all of my hair are gone white. And last year it was the same condition, and it took me 4 hours to climb 4.75 kilometers height, and it was bumpy, it was rocky, the track was rocky, and it was like I did it, and I did it very well. And it took 2 hours to come down. And I was not wearing those boots also, the army boots. And after such a long period, 25 years, no exercise and nothing, the army made me so much tough that after even those years, I was able to climb at this age to the top of the Sohava, 4.75 kilometers straight street. That was fantastic. I really was happy that my niece's husband said that he's a doctor. He said you may not be able to do it, and once I did it, he said I was thinking that you will, lose hope during halfway to the mountain, but you did the whole thing, and that is it. So the army life, especially the military life in the training, Pakistan Military Academy, is unmatchable, incomparable to any other life you can dream of, at least in Pakistan. It is now, in those times when we used to be, uh, you know, uh, given punishment during night, like at 3 o'clock in winters when there is snow falling and you are barefooted, you are just wearing a short, nothing on your chest, and and you are having front rolls, on a gradient, on a slope of a mountain, we used to really, be very, we used to crib, what are we doing basically? We were used to be in agony. But now we remember how fun it was. We all together of our platoon, making silly voices and just enjoying and all that. This was very, it is incomparable. Yeah.
Excellent story, sir. The training of your young age came handy in this age,
Yeah,
and it
exactly.
keeps you going.
Yeah.
Excellent, sir. Sir, coming to your affiliation with Rehan Foundation, sir. How did
Yeah.
it happen, and how did you get to know Sir Rehan, and how did you first meet with him?
Well, after 2018, when I left Marine Group, jobs I did were for a shorter period, right? Because I have this mind, as I told you, my judgment has impaired. I see things differently. I have a different analysis about society. So when I see something which is wrong or is not according to the book, I raise my finger to that particular thing. And raising finger these days and socially are not accepted. So the duration of my jobs were not that much. So I was jobless a year back. It was like for only 20 days. And before that, I was working for a security company, which I left my own self, and then I was jobless. So my wife said that I was trying to find a job, but wasn't able to get one in those 20 days. So my wife said that once you are free, why not you work voluntarily for a welfare organization? So I said, okay, why not? And then I was browsing the welfare organizations on internet. Then the Rehan Foundation uh, site came on the screen, and I saw a number. I called at that number, and Imran Leadership Wala, if you know him, he picked up the phone, and I told him that this is Captain Retired Jehanzeb Hashmi, and I'm looking for a job. So he said, send me your CV. I sent my CV immediately. After 15 minutes, I started getting links of Rehan Allahwala documentaries on my WhatsApp. I started looking at them, and within a few minutes, a call received from Rehan Allahwala himself, and he said, come over to my house, Yellow Room, and I want to take your interview. I said, okay. I was blessed. Almighty Allah has made uh, such a beautiful arrangement that I was able to meet such a good personality. A personality which has, as I say, incomparable to anybody else in the world. It's so different. So I went there, and as soon I went to his studio, Yellow Room, he said, now you are the mayor of Karachi, and you have to speak for 2 minutes about Karachi. And the camera was on. So I started off, and he liked it, and he said, you're very well done. You are selected. And I was selected as administrator of Rehan Foundation. So this is how I got to know Rehan Alawala.
Excellent, sir. Your story made me, and I'm sure many others, envious. Sir. That on very first meeting, you get to meet Sir Rehan in person. Sir, excellent.
Yes,
So, sir,
and Allah has all been very kind.
mashallah, sir. So, sir, how are you enjoying this affiliation with Sir Rehan, and what are your duties in Rehan Foundation? Will you elaborate for us?
Well, you know, ambivalent. Ambivalent means uh, a mixture, right? Uh, मतलब good and bad. My feelings are ambivalent. Why? Because Rehan Allahwala, the more I get to know him, the more I start loving him, right? It's not that he's my boss, because let me tell you something. I believe in Allah, Almighty Allah, Almighty Allah, Almighty Allah. मतलब there, no one has any kind of power in the world. All powers are with Almighty Allah. All powers. No one has nothing of that sort. No one cannot do anything except when Allah wills that thing to happen. This is my faith and belief, right? Therefore, the sustenance comes from Almighty Allah, right? Help comes from Almighty Allah. Whatever you want in life, or whatever you want, is will be done by the will of Almighty Allah. Now, Rehan Allahwala is an altruistic person. His vision, if you go into deep, he sometimes initial part of my tenure with him was very different. I used to think, what kind of a man he is. Everybody knowing him, he has so many contacts. Whosoever you talk about, and he knows him, and these people know him, and he talks about so many difficult things which didn't used to understand, and the concept he has of the school and education and digital literacy and all that. To me, I being in the army also, suspicious nature. He's an agent, or he's like something against Pakistan. What is he doing and all that? But later on, as I went closer to him by watching him doing things, by listening to him, by by spending time with him, by listening to his interviews, by doing his interviews, by knowing him more, I came to a realization that there is no one in Pakistan who is so much worried about Pakistan, and who has the solution to take this Pakistan political instability, economic instability, and this ethical bankruptcy other than anybody else than in Rehan Allahwala. Because once you talk to Rehan Allahwala on any issue, he has a comprehensive answer on that issue from him, right? And there's so many examples in my tenure, this 1 year tenure, when I came across people who were in distress and who wanted to know something or wanted a solution out of their problem, and Rehan Lawala was there to provide the solution. And not only in Pakistan, once he gets me through with people like you, and not only people who speak Urdu, but people who cannot speak Urdu and can only speak English or other languages, they speak so high of him, and which sometimes make me very, suspicious also, how everyone in the world is also talking about him so highly and appreciably. So this is what I know of Rehanullah Wala. And he's someone who encourages me, who supports me. My life has been little difficult, as I told you. My life has been little difficult, as I told you. And since my birth, because my father late, he was a great man. He was a great man. He loved me very much, but he had a very strict eye on me, and he kept me very, he tried to make me disciplined. I was never disciplined, and so difficult times went on. Rehan Allahwala always appreciates me, encourages me, talks about. He has openly on Facebook called me a diamond and has been so has used so good words, a long detailed appreciation about me, and has these things really you know boost me up. And so, Rehan, it is not only that once he appreciates me, it is also his caliber, intellect caliber. The family I belong to and the family I'm married in, they both are very highly educated people. So many PhD doctors living all around the world on placed on high positions. I've been with them, listening to them, but sometimes I realize Rehan Alawala has taken an edge over them also. So this is what I think of Rehan Allahwala. And Rehan Foundation, my 1 year in Rehan Foundation, where there are people, where there are human beings. So a man is called a social animal. Somebody likes you, somebody don't like you. But Rehan Allahwala taught me to live with people. Before that, I sometimes was very, you know, uh, I was very emotional, or sometimes I was very antisocial or violent impulses जो होती हैं, sometimes you say ना, you have violent impulses in an ignorant man who is slipping awfully into the imitation of the beast. So I used to sometimes slip into the imitation of a beast, but he taught me how to be an intelligent person and not slip into the imitation of the beast or stay calm. He taught me to stay calm. And I really am a different person in this 1 year, which I was before that. So, this is what I've learned in Rehan Foundation, and this is how I consider Rehan Allahwala as a human being. You're not audible. You're not audible. I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. Hello? I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. Hello? Cannot hear you. No. No, and I cannot hear you. No, I cannot hear you. It is something on your side because I can hear the sound of a bell but cannot hear your words. Something problem at your side. You are mute. You are muted. Open your mic. Now speak. No, I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. एक minute. Now, no. Cannot hear you. I think your mic is muted. But I cannot hear you. Even if I, when I removed the hand free, still I couldn't hear you. Speak. Speak. I cannot hear you. You're not audible. There's some problem with you. There's, there's a problem at your side. Your mic is muted. I can see a crossed line on your mic. Unmuted. Unmuted. It is muted. Your mic is muted. Unmuted. Your mic is muted. Unmuted. It is muted. It is muted. Your mic is muted. Unmuted. I can see that your mic is muted. But once you show your mic, it appears that it is muted. You have to unmute it. Show your mic. Show me your mic. Show me your mic. No, not your mic on the screen, on your laptop. So I can't hear you. It's useless. So I think no use. Okay.